We've got a fun show for you today. We're going to talk about NYCFC's thrilling win over Toronto. The Texas teams are playing well, and Seattle is in a funk.
Vince, you're back. I'm so happy you're back. You know, last week I had to slog through a cold open with Max Bredos. He made me eat donuts.
You poor, poor child.
Thank you.
Welcome into the Expansion Mansion.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Expansion Mansion. Another exciting weekend in MLS, and here to discuss it with me is Mariano Trujillo.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Where's Max? No, Max
Vince is back.
I'm back.
There
Vince
you
is
go.
back.
I was told that you needed me to come back because if Max was here, you were thinking you might have other things to do.
Yeah.
I think Max is on another morning run along the beach.
Yeah. He's got to keep that tan up. That very...
That's hard work.
Yeah, that glow. You know how it is.
I need a
so do
player
I.
to connect well.
Yeah, Coach Connor knows how it is with his
true.
very...
Before we get going, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and click on that like button. It helps feed the algorithm.
Yeah, I mean, we keep growing in subscribers, so more likes, more subscribers, it's going to keep going. And maybe the biggest news of the week, guys, Angels Wear Boots. Our show following Angel City FC premieres this Thursday right here on the 110 Football YouTube channel. Jessica Black and Lauren Sesselman will be joined by the Angel City Chicks podcast hosts Nina and Amanda for the season preview. We've got a few other great hosts that will join the show throughout the year, including our friend, former Club America midfielder, Jen Munoz. So watch that show this Thursday right here. All right.
Boom.
What are you guys laughing at, by the way?
No, well, the comments.
Is the chat going off?
People is active already, so thank you. Thank you for that.
All right, they're going to get more active because we're going to go from there to the hottest topics of the weekend. And no, I'm not referring to the Hard Rock T-shirt store. Wait, if you're wondering...
Such a weird pun, Vince.
If you guys are wondering why I didn't seem very committed to that joke, I didn't write it.
Sure you didn't. Sure you're not the writer of the show.
But if you've been around, and I know some of you in the chat, you know it's time for hashtag trending.
Hashtag Janine.
There you go.
Everyone missed that. I saw you guys try to recreate it in one of them, and it just was kind of
do it
hashtag
again.
trending.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. We're going to clip that and make it a GIF.
Yeah, let me start us off, and let's stay right here on the West Coast, the best coast. The West has been wild. It seems like the top teams, no one wants to give that top spot because everyone's winning. We got Galaxy won, LAFC won. Austin is a surprise package there. Mm-hmm. The season is very long. Do we feel that what we are seeing now is going to be similar to what we might see in October?
Yes and no. Yes, because Galaxy, it might not be pretty, but they're pragmatic. They're getting results, and I think they're going to continue doing that with Greg Vanney.
They have a finisher. As long as you have a finisher, you're going to be in any game.
Exactly, right? And with Austin, I really like what Josh Wolf is doing over there. It's fun to watch. You have Driussi, you have Urruti, you have Fagundes. It's a team that it goes forward, and it's fun. Even if you don't support Austin, it's fun to watch. I think they're going to finish, if not first or second, they're going to be in close to those spots.
But what a turnaround, right? Like, not just because Austin was near the bottom of the table last season, but while we were having talks about what LAFC should think about doing with their coaching staff, Austin was going through a similar Wolf out thing going on. So, like, what has changed? Because Wolf is still there. Honestly, all the way into the first game of the season, fans were like, yeah, we're good, but I'm still Wolf out. And I'm like, wow.
No, that's just a very entitled fan base.
Yeah, it's a personality type.
Yeah, the expansion teams are a long process. It's a project. This isn't like a one-year thing. Mm-hmm. Teams aren't two-dimensional, right? You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And it's worked out, I'd say, pretty fine for Austin.
Right? How much would it have set them back if they did actually fire Wolf, right?
A lot. I mean, it would have been catastrophic for Austin, I think, because right now you can see some of his work, the players. I had a chance to speak with Diego Fagundes not long ago, and he said that Wolf has created something in the locker room, which is the hardest thing to accomplish as a coach. Mm-hmm. He has done it, so let's just let him work, and they will get some good results. I don't know at MLS Cup, but they will get some.
And like you said, Vince, it is a long season. But it's weird, this happens year in, year out. It's weird because these top three teams did not make the playoffs last year.
True.
So coming into the season, these are teams that you want to see at the top of the table, but it's interesting to see how year in, year out things change and how teams can go on hot streaks early, and maybe some stand the test of the whole season.
The wildest thing for me was even watching Austin, and even in games they would lose, I would at least watch them and go like, I enjoy their football.
Yeah, me too.
So that's what it was really weird, because you get a coach, and yes, he's only had 1 year to be with this team, and he's already built something where you go, this is actually enjoyable. You've got to give him that second year at least.
True.
And they're reaping the benefits.
And I don't mind being biased towards the Western Conference, because MLS, they really go lights out after like 6 p.m. on the Eastern Coast.
They do.
And it sucks because there's so many fun games, and we'll talk about some of them later on in the show. But we here at One Time Football gives the West Coast a little bit of love. But
Yeah, I agree.
we may want to transition to the East Coast.
Should we do it now?
Shall we?
Let's do it.
As you look at your card.
As I look at my card, one of the most entertaining.
I set you up so well. That was like, that was a sitter, right? That was a sitter right across the
There you
6-yard
go,
box,
right
and Connor
there.
just popped it over the top.
No, it was the turf. It was like, it was wet, and
You're
then-
the type of player that it goes over and then looks down and
Like-
goes,
yeah, on my shoelace.
you seen that?
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
No,
It
so one of the
happens, it
most
happens.
entertaining matches of the weekend was NYCFC.
Not if you were a coach of either of those teams.
Not if you're a coach. 9 goals? 9 goals?
Yeah.
How are you a team that scores 4 on any given day and still loses a match?
All gas, no brakes, baby.
All gas, no brakes.
I mean, we've reaped the benefits here at LA of kind of changing that a little bit.
Yeah.
The pendulum has swung back a little bit away, as you said, with the Galaxy. They're pragmatic. They know what they have. They know that they can win games where maybe it's not going to be ugly. Look, Bob Bradley wants to win games one way, and it's the Bob Bradley way. And in a lot of ways, and you and I have talked about this a lot,
Yeah.
maybe Bob deserves that because he's done so much in this sport that he's like, you know what, if I can't win this way, I don't even want to do it. But my big question is, I know that they lost this game. They've won some games maybe they shouldn't have. Are they good? Is Toronto actually good?
I don't know, and I was thinking about that because the fans over there in Toronto, they're very demanding. They want their
Yeah, they
team
are.
to win because they support their team week in, week out. And when you take Bob to build something, okay, what is that he's building? A winning mentality, a winning culture? I don't know. I think it's too early to say if this team is good or bad. I think they have solid and key pieces to this scheme that might help the development of this team, but I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate or at least get close to what Bob did with LAFC.
This year will be a year that Toronto FC, obviously, regardless of what happens, will want to do as best they can competitively, but they know that this is probably the perfect playground Bob Bradley could have. Without making moves in an offseason, you have a full catalog of very young players coming out of Toronto's youth system and other places. Or he's going to have these tools at his disposal to really develop these players the way he wants to, that fits his system. And if some doesn't work, fine, move on. But look, this is a playground that I think Bob Bradley will have a lot of fun getting to really sink his teeth into. I can't say that it's going to work out and turn into an LAFC 2019 season, but I will say, this is what Bob Bradley loves to do. He likes to start these projects and develop these players, and he has an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, he's always been a long-term guy. He does like young players, but also likes to spend some cash, which Toronto is apt to do. But Connor, you're a part-time Toronto fan, as Mario said.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As Mariano said, they don't take losses lightly there. I mean,
Yes.
they did almost burn the stadium down in anger at one
True.
point. Do they have enough time for Bob to do what he's got to do? Because like you said, Bob's a project guy.
Nope.
Let's just hope that Insigne
And Jimenez.
and Jimenez just do enough where it feels like, okay, competitively they're still doing well with being able to maintain that long-term project, right? Let's just hope that there's enough balance between.
But you can't talk to the fans like that and say, like, let us just be good for now and then be better later.
Or you can, but since the beginning. You cannot use it as an excuse. On the other hand, I talk about New York City FC coming back, and now they're back with Tati Castellanos and company playing very good and scoring a lot of goals. So I really like this New York City team. But let's move on, guys. What about Miami? That's what I'm wearing pink.
Is that why?
Because, yeah. Because I was happy about Miami. I've been in the locker rooms, and when you're not winning, when everybody thinks that you're the worst team, well, besides San Jose in the league, when you get 3 victories in a row, it can be an inflection point for the team, the players, the front office. What do you guys think about Miami?
Well, how about Remember they made such a stink about Jesse Marsh having a post-game huddle, and then Phil Neville had a post-game huddle after his team won.
Yeah.
Miami's interesting, and like you said, it's not great when you're losing in the locker room. But you know what sometimes really helps a team is when you're winning, even when you're struggling.
Yes.
Because I think Atlanta was the better team there, but I think this Miami team has to then go back in that locker room and go, guys, it probably wasn't good enough, but at least we walk away from here with 3 points, and we're happy. We know we can grow here, because remember what it was like when we played games where maybe we were the better team and we still just couldn't win. So you would rather take that. I think that mentality switched things, and then not playing the entitled players. We've got guys that really want it now, right? And that's why they've been a little bit more scrappy, because I think in games where they weren't the better team, they clearly understood it, and a guy like Gonzalo Higuain would go, oh, what are we going to do today? We're not the better team. And he's like, I've seen this. Whereas you got a guy like Campagna. I mean, we talk about 2 games with great center forward play. Jimenez, Tati Castellanos, Campagna. Great center forward play. All different types of center forwards. But yeah, just to win some games ugly and get out of there. You get out of there, like I said, and go, we didn't play that well, but hey, we got to win it.
I'll take it.
I mean, you know that you've been in teams. That probably brings you together more than even just steamrolling.
Because you know, when you don't play well, you know. But it's always better to fix things with 3 points in your back pocket than not winning at all. Because the confidence it's a different. The vibe around the team is completely different. Connor, you think this will be the point will change things for Miami or not?
I think as an organization, I hope they will change their mentality going forward, because we were talking a little bit before the show how Campagna, like, this wasn't ever supposed to happen.
Yeah, he wasn't playing A, B, C, D, or,
you know what I mean? And and we were saying, like, it feels like all the executive ideas and directions that Miami has been given, they should just go the opposite way and it'll work out. No, but you're seeing, like, David Beckham and Inter Miami, they have an old MLS point of view where they think, hey, we could just sell jerseys and that'll be great. That's not going to cut it. You need to have a good competitive success and a good team. And I think hopefully they will start to see that they can do that without getting Matuidi, Higuain, washed players, basically.
The scary thing about having to go to plan B, C, D is there's not much more depth beyond that. So if any of these guys get hurt.
Hey, Bryce Duke, masterclass.
Yeah, if any of these
he's
guys.
a great player.
Bryce Duke he'll grow into it, but I'm just saying I don't know if he's ready to carry that team.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Let's move on to another exciting matchup. It was, oddly enough, Seattle versus San Jose. I probably going into this weekend would have said that this was going to be a blowout with San Jose losing their coach. You always think they get a little bit of a bounce, and it didn't start that way. But by halftime, they got the new coach bounce. And are we more surprised at Seattle letting go 2 separate occasions, 2 goal leads? I'm more surprised that San Jose managed to pull this off.
I just want to say Christian Roldan looks angry. What's he doing back there?
Probably because
He should be angry after this game.
Yeah.
He should be angry. What a goal he scored, right? The second one. You know what? Something that worries me, well, I'm not worried, right? Because I'm not a Seattle fan or I'm not part of the organization, but this Seattle team used to be a different team when they were winning. They controlled the game, they moved the ball from one side to another. Lodeiro, João Paulo, Roldan. With Ozzy Alonso playing over there, it was impossible pretty much to beat Seattle if they were winning. This was a surprise to me because when they scored the goals, I was like, okay, this is done. But credit to San Jose and Christian Espinoza and company because they had a heart to fight back and they got the result. But I think Seattle should be a little bit worried about what they're going to face next, not in MLS, but in Concacaf Champions League based on this result.
It was more wide open than I've ever seen a Seattle game, really.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think, I guess to your point, the way that, a Liga MX side plays when they're a little bit backs against the wall is all gas, no brakes. And if Seattle lets a San Jose team that is not as talented as Pumas, if they let them run with 4, 5, 6 guys at their defense, it'll be a long night.
Yep. Yeah. But I mean, it was an entertaining game as a fan. But not really as a coach, again, with that amount of goals.
Can I just say one thing before we move on, though, to San Jose? A couple weeks ago, I did move on from San Jose. I did my players that I think from MLS, the best World Cup team of MLS players.
Yeah, I remember that.
Rodney Wallace almost convinced me that I should have had Francisco Calvo in there. Rodney, you tell me after watching that game if Francisco Calvo deserved to be anywhere near my team. So shots fired, Rodney. Get back at me on Twitter.
All right, guys. All right, let's move on. And we have this last show. We had the hot and cold takes. It was very funny. It was amazing, and so we decided to bring it back. Hot and cold. You guys have two emojis
Hot
over there.
or cold?
We do.
Hot or cold.
Oh, we do have emojis.
You have the two emojis over there. You will have to use them. So, boys, if you help me.
Voice. What are you
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, there
What are
you go.
talking about? What? Who is that?
Welcome me back, Mariano.
Thank you for being here with us. Let's start with hot or cold.
Terrifying.
That's
Are you
so
guys scared?
scary.
Yes, I'm
Go ahead.
terrified. Let's do this.
First topic.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Seattle will win CCL, but miss the playoffs.
Oh,
Well, I think that's hot.
okay.
Really?
Why?
Well, it's just I think closing the final here in Lumen Field, that's a huge advantage. And Pumas is not at their best right now, so if they don't get at least 2 or 3 goals in the first leg, they're gonna struggle. And Seattle is a team with a lot of experience, and if they win this, that will be they will make history. I think they will be relaxed and like, yeah, it's all right, playoffs. We'll do it next year.
Yeah, see, my reasoning, and I think Connor's is the same as the opposite. They very well could win CCL, but there's no chance that they're missing the playoffs. Like, they do this. Like you said, they're too good of a team. I think they can, they had a bad game against San Jose. They definitely cannot play that way against Pumas. But honestly, they could play that way for like the rest of the season and sleepwalk their way into the
Mariano thinks that the rest of the MLS season for them, if they win, will be like a victory tour. Just going city to city.
I mean,
You're welcome,
to be
guys.
the first MLS team to pull that off, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but they'll still.
It's too early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was exaggerating a little
Anything
bit.
Seattle before like August is too early.
Especially having Smetzer right there. I mean, he won't allow that.
And that, as someone who is a fan of a team that's a direct opponent of Seattle Sounders, that's the most frustrating thing. Is you're right, like nothing matters before like August.
Yeah,
Or
we're
even
Exactly.
like they'll just go.
Yeah, what are we? We're like 12 points ahead of Seattle right now, and no one's celebrating because they're like, they'll be around.
Exactly.
Just give it a couple weeks.
Long way to go. Long way to go. All right. Let's
All
move
right,
to the
boys,
next one.
what do you got?
Next topic.
Who is this voice?
All 3 Texas teams will make the playoffs.
No. No. You guys are crazy.
Wow. Why not, Connor?
I don't have enough faith in Dallas.
Dallas is the team that I would be most worried about, actually, too.
Really?
And I just don't think Houston can sustain it either. I think Mariano was even talking about it a little bit before. Like these teams, they're getting results and they're picking up results here, and I just don't think that's a sustainable mentality for the whole season. And look, you have Colorado, SKC, Sounders, Portland, all at the bottom of the table right now. They're gonna be pushing for a playoff spot. So you're telling me that one of those 4 guys that I just mentioned won't leapfrog a Dallas or a Houston? I just don't see it happen.
But we talked earlier about culture, and Dallas and Houston both needed new cultures. They had to get new coaches to get it. Houston even had to go as far as getting new GM, new technical staff. I mean, they really cleaned house. Houston, I'm more worried about Dallas because they're younger, and I feel like a lot of times that exuberance, them being more fit, can really play into your advantage. But as the season goes on, it's the veterans that really grind things out.
I agree.
Houston, I'm less worried about because it feels like they've gone ahead, they've done their work ahead. Carrasquillo is a great player. Hector Herrera's coming in. They've already have Quintero. I feel like Paulo Nagamura is like, okay, let me set it up in a way so that when Hector Herrera shows up, I can just plug him in, and I think they'll get even better.
Yeah.
So
Whereas
that's
Dallas,
where,
it's a like
Dallas,
building the
I
bike
just-
while you're riding it.
yeah, Dallas is if these kids can learn fast enough, and then also if they have the gas at the end. It's interesting because veterans, obviously early in the season, they don't have the gas, and then these young guys, they don't realize that, hey, it's 34 games, but it's a grind, and you're going to wear yourself out, and sometimes you need to reserve your body a little bit. So I'm just worried in that regard.
I disagree with that. I mean, I think Dallas is the one that can not make the playoffs, but I think the mentality and the culture that they're building right now, and more than that, the confidence that they're getting is like, hey, we're young and we can compete against these teams and get the results. I think it can build some sort of chemistry within the team and make the playoffs. I'm not saying that they're going to be first place, but I think they can make playoffs. We talk about Austin, and I'm 100% sure that Houston is going to make the playoffs because I know Paulo, because I know his mentality, the type of coach he is. And like you said, they're building a team that will be ready for Herrera to fit in perfectly. So I will say actually Houston, Austin, Dallas.
Oh, so you think Houston's?
Yes.
That's on the record now, so I can't wait till we revisit this on decision day.
All right.
We'll have to have him buy us some breakfast tacos. If
Yeah.
Boston,
Also, who is the voice? Where is this?
I don't know. That's.
Don't you worry about that.
I don't know. I feel like I heard this in a confessional.
I know. Where is it?
right.
Jeremy Abobasi will not end this season with San Jose.
Ooh.
What?
See,
Man.
I'm on record as tweeting out, and I'm not like a San Jose hater or lover in either regard, but I said, please God, somebody get Jeremy Abobasi out of San Jose because he's so much more talented and doesn't get used in the right ways. But that being said, they've spent a lot of money on him. I just can't see them, especially being in transition. I don't know. That's like tearing it down to the studs. No?
Yeah, but I think, look, they're Almeida's gone. You're kind of switching things up a little bit. I don't see him getting out of there anytime.
You don't?
No.
So then why
do.
are you Ice Cube?
Yeah, you should be.
The thing
you
is,
should be
Jeremy
hot.
Abobasi will not end the season with San Jose. Will not end. So I'm saying he will end the season with San Jose.
Okay.
Okay. It sounded like you were saying that they were going to get rid of
No, I'm saying like you don't just like start scrapping a roster when the coach leaves.
Yeah.
You let him
that's what I
experiment
was
a
saying.
little.
Or maybe,
Yeah, I'm
you don't
agreeing.
know, because who's going to be the next coach? I mean, I'm assuming the next coach will be, I don't like this player, I do like that player. I think Abobasi is a great striker, and being in the market or with the possibility of moving to a different team, actually contender, he will have to, leave at least at San Jose for a better chance to win something this season. And if that means bringing some cash and money to San Jose to maybe sign some other players that the new coach will like, I don't see this as I see this as a possibility of Abobasi not finishing the season with San Jose, without a doubt.
Maybe you sell Francisco Calvo. I mean, Rodney seems to think he's worth a lot.
It says, what are you talking about, Thickety? Wickets?
What is it? What is it?
But Connor's thoughts, is that you, God?
Hey,
Well, speaking of voice, do we have another topic?
One more, boys.
Sure do.
Whoa,
oh God.
All right, last topic.
nervous.
Chicago will finish the season with more clean sheets than goals scored.
I just want it to happen.
Yeah, I just want it to happen.
That's a fire, right?
That would be some kind of
fire. Yeah.
MLS, who is known for its very odd records that it puts out, like, hey, Charlotte is the best 6-game start of any team except for these 4 teams. Like, just the most random stats. That would be the ultimate most random stat. The team that has more clean sheets, which is good, but then goals, which is would be very bad.
I like Luis Hernandez. It'll be a tie. It'll be same amount of goals and same amount of clean sheets.
That's a crazy one. But I
that
think
sounds
that
about right.
speaks what the team is playing right now.
Yeah.
Shaqiri, get the ball, create something. Let's see what happens. Let's just sit back and wait a little bit. That's a funny one. Yeah.
I mean, look, in a lot of ways, they were another team that really needed to change the culture. I mean, talk about scrapping everything. They got rid of almost their entire team.
Team, yes.
Ezra Hendrickson.
Except Jonathan Bornstein, right?
Yeah.
He remains there.
Ezra's really figuring out on the fly. I mean, they didn't even have a coach come in first and go, I like this guy, I don't like this guy. They were just like, clear the deck, and then Ezra will come in and do the rest.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm not excited about Chicago.
They haven't done anything yet.
They were there playing.
Mariano, I don't know if you saw our watch along, but the other day we were with Max Bredos and he hopped on and he's like, it was so funny because he was so genuine. He was like, what? The Chicago Fire should get fined for how they're playing.
He was so mad.
He was like,
I agree. I
shouldn't
agree.
be allowed to play like
They're
that.
still
It's a
waiting.
beautiful game.
They're still waiting on Jairo Torres.
He's not going to change much.
No?
No. He's a great player, young player. He's playing for Atlas, but he's not the playmaker that they're expecting. I think he will be a great addition, but he's not going to have the Campagna effect with Miami. Just to say something.
That's scary because I'm going to talk a little bit about the playmaker they're using and how that might not be the way to go either.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't know.
What you guys doing in Illinois?
Wow. Was that the last?
Just eating White Castle.
All right, moving on. Do you like the internet? If you said no, you're a liar because right now you're actively using it. One of the good things about the internet is all the memes people create. Well, MLS is no exception. So let's take a look at the MLS memes of the week.
Normally, the memes we get are actually pretty easy. We had to search pretty hard.
Yeah, today was like this
But
week
I
was
think
a dry
we found
week
some
for
good
me.
ones.
Was it?
Yeah, it was tough. There was not a lot of memes, but let's take a look at the first one.
Let's see.
Meme number 1. Wah. And this was about New York City FC looking for their 5th home stadium within the franchise.
John Travolta. Do you know John
That's
Travolta's
bad.
character's
That's
name in
sad.
that movie?
I don't know the
Yeah.
name. I know the movie.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. Vincent.
Vincent.
There you go.
Wow.
But that's sad.
Great
That
meme.
meme is sad, right?
Yeah, it is pretty sad. I mean,
no identity with New York City FC.
somebody said something. It was like their 6th home opener.
Yeah.
Because like technically, when they played at Bank, they were the home team here in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
They
that's
were.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta feel
Wow.
bad for them.
Wow. Yes, I
but
do.
Well, what do you do? What do you do?
I don't know. It's scary though because they can't seem to find a stadium. Miami was another spot where they were like, it'll be fine, slam dunk for a stadium. They're not. Now these places are pushing back, and I'm worried because a great stadium in New York, a great stadium in Miami would be places we'd all want to go to.
Of course.
But it doesn't seem like they're gonna get it.
See, they're scared because they pride themselves on being the New York team. Like we're New York, we're the Bronx, right? Oh well, if you have to build a stadium, won't be the New York team.
Yep.
We'll have to go do it in New Jersey.
It's even worse because they're the Yankee team. So
Yeah.
they, like you said, Bronx. They can't go out to like Queens. They can't go outside of Bronx because they have to be
Yep.
so Yankee centric. So it's
Exactly.
even worse.
Wow. And which is sad is that on the field they're being successful.
They're a really fun team to watch.
It is,
know.
of course, yes. And they have won MLS Cup, but that's pretty sad.
All right, next meme. Good old SpongeBob.
What is that?
It was RSL and Austin shaking hands for losing to USL teams in the US Open Cup.
Cup sets. Cup sets, as they
They
said.
play with the B team. Come on, guys.
You played an Open Cup. Well, I mean,
I did.
what was it like being an MLS team, knowing that like, yes, this is a competition you wanted to win. Like, it's always a trophy. There's some money, but you're like, but also the season's so long. And I
It is. It was a burden, but I remember having some words with the rookies or younger guys, telling them, hey, this is the chance you guys have to convince the coach to play every weekend. So if you don't play good, you're not going to have any chance. So if we don't advance, that's it. You won't have any more opportunities. And they were doing pretty good. You know, it's a good chance. And if you're an MLS team, obviously you have the responsibility.
Right.
I like Boris saying, "There's a nice patch of grass in the middle of the city." If you wanna,
Hey, just tear down Central Park,
Park,
and
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it would instantly be one of the most interesting venues in all the world.
Yeah.
All right,
Underground.
let's go to the third one. Underground. You know, there's a lot of stadiums that have domes, but if we could go underground.
Underground. What is this?
Higuain.
Oh,
That guy's too fit to be Higuain.
Yeah.
that's harsh.
Oh, it's so true. What's
Poor
Gonzalo gonna do?
Enjoy life.
I think
Living in
actually one of the hot right? Yeah, one of the hot takes are the voice that God should had for us was, does Gonzalo Higuain even finish the season, or does he just go hang out in Miami?
I don't know. I mean,
Keep doing that.
he's having
He's
fun.
not doing it to everyone. Everyone else is not hearing it. You're only hearing it in your ear. So everyone on the audience
no one
thinks that
hears
you're just
that?
talking to
No,
yourself.
it's-
Yeah.
Are you okay, Connor?
Yeah, you're all right.
You're right.
I don't think so anymore.
I'm actually not hearing anything. Maybe.
I thought you guys could hear that.
So as we're apt to do, we like to pick a favorite. I love the Travolta one because I do love that movie.
It's
and
funny.
It's just always funny. But
Yeah.
what was your favorite?
I'll agree with you. I just think that because it's so funny is because the truth is just so sad.
Exactly. Yeah. Just because of that. Yeah.
SpongeBob is always a good close second.
Yep.
Like I said, I always go with the meme that people already know the context just by looking at it.
yeah.
But all right, from someone who thought they might be weekly player of the week to guys who really are, we moved to this week's MLS Players of the Week, and Connor is first up. You have the honors. Who was your player of the week, Connor?
You want to know?
Of course.
That's why I asked you. That's how this show
Man,
works.
Taxi getting on his debut, 2 goals, 1 assist. Against, a pretty bad New England Revolution. Got to be completely honest this year. But look, 2 goals and an assist on your MLS debut. The Greek God.
Again, well, center forward play. The center forward play
And there
on
were good
display
goals,
this week in
too.
MLS was pretty good.
Yep.
In a weekend where it was kind of dire in other places, too many 0-0s or just dull games, but the center forward play was solid.
It's very solid.
Very solid.
Anyway, so I just have to give a nod.
Good quality of goals.
You should-
The assist was amazing.
Yeah.
So you can see the quality with Funtas.
Yeah, I was gonna wear my Greek national.
I was going to say you should have wore the
jersey.
Greek national team jersey. You should have had it on underneath and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
tore it
Take
out.
that, Jason.
Oh, so are you a DC United fan as well, or not? Not really.
And then I have a DC.
DC.
Yeah.
under.
Now
And
that would be surprising.
And I just keep going. I don't stop.
For those of you that don't know anything behind the scenes, when we had our pre-call, I had this Charlotte jersey on, and then I show up to the studio, and who comes walking in a Charlotte jersey? Connor.
I wore the same
Just to
jersey
troll
on
me.
purpose.
Yeah,
just
he did it on purpose.
to match with Vince, because he loves it when we.
Being left out. Yeah.
All right, Mariano, who do you got as your player?
All right, guys. A lot of good performances around the league, but I have to go with the emotional one. Cristian Espinoza from San Jose Earthquakes, the Argentine. He's been struggling with Matias Almeida and all the situation around the Earthquakes. But this weekend, he showed what a player needs to be in any level, not a professional level, to be on the field. He showed heart. You know, they were playing terrible, and just with heart and effort and not giving up, he scored the first one at the end of the first half. Then he scored the second one, and the hat trick, the winning goal to give San Jose the first and emotional victory of the season. Espinoza, I like Espinoza the way he plays, his style, and what I like the most is that he forgot about the context around the team and actually focus on playing the game and enjoying the game, and he surely did, scoring 3 goals and giving San Jose his first victory. So kudos to Cristian Espinoza.
And I kind of like to have a rule where if a player scores a hat trick, you kind of just have to give him Player of the Week. So this was like the first time that I've tried to walk away from the rule.
Mariano
no bias at all.
already was picking him,
I know.
Sorry.
but no, I mean it means it's a good rule. I mean he's probably going to be picked anyways, but he did will his team, in a game that they really had no business being.
Exactly.
People are asking about me wearing another MLS team's jersey. Look,
Exactly. What's going on with that?
Adidas reached out to me and said, would you ever wear another team's jersey? I said, not in the West. Absolutely not. They were like, hey, Portland has a pretty nice jersey. I said, how dare you? How dare you? I go, but I do like that.
Austin's is nice.
Yeah,
I
but they're in the West.
disagree. As a fan of the league, I am
a fan of the league.
I like wearing I'm like a collector of MLS jerseys.
Well, but beyond that, this is a good-looking kit. So that's why I was like, hey.
and a good-looking person.
Yeah, good-looking kid. I'm a good-looking man. Why don't you put me in a good-looking
Perfect
kid? So Adidas
combination.
said, done. Sent it to you. And in that vein, I'm changing my player of the week to Christian Fuchs. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. My player of the week, actually, let's go back to Austin. Sebastian Driussi, who had a goal and assist. Maxi Urruti is getting a lot of the plaudits, but really, Driussi's setting him up in the way that Urruti loves. And how's that? Just shoot it. He's
Just
literally
shoot it.
playing the ball, so all that Urruti has to do is shoot it. Sebastian Driussi has completely changed that team. They went from a team that I think played nice football. It was pretty football, but it wasn't effective. And Driussi is direct enough. He can dribble through guys. He can beat a man, and then he just lays it off to Fagundes. He lays it off to Urruti, or he scores it himself. And he's been a pretty incredible watch. I implore you, if some people watch games, it's fine. You just watch a game, you're enjoying your time, you're watching the ball. Maybe every once in a while, pick out a guy like Driussi or like a Rui Diaz or a Carlos Vela. Just watch them for an entire game. And it'll enlighten you to just what they do, because Driussi just has this uncanny ability to not be in the play at all, and then next thing you know, show up, score the goal, make the pass.
Yeah.
And he's been very good, and the reason why Austin is close to the top, but not quite there in the West.
So
Not quite there.
Okay, you guys are talking about Austin pretty good, and you don't believe him. So
Well,
okay.
we did this in the last show. Austin woke up on Sunday morning and said, hey, it feels good to be top of the table, and I think forgot who was playing later on in that day. So we're just needing a little bit, but it's okay. We like our friends in Austin.
All right.
Let's take a look at our team of the week and how our picks fit in. What? My guy's not even in the.
It's not there?
Is he in the bench? I can't
Probably
read
on
that
the
far.
bench.
Wow.
I can't look that far,
That's
but
kind of
come on.
far.
Look,
My guy is.
Urruti gets the goals,
Is
but
he? Of
Driussi
course.
did all the work.
Yeah, I agree.
I like how Taxi's a center forward and they put him in the midfield just to make.
Yeah, this is the
fine.
problem. This is the problem when you have center forward play like we had this weekend. They're like, we need like 4 or 5 center forwards in there. Have one of them play left mid.
Yeah, I think they should change that, right? It should be the best player for any position on the field, not just if you score a hat trick, they're going to put you as a center back. That's not fair.
Right.
Yeah, right. Come
Yeah,
on.
you can only.
I'll tell you
have-
what, if you score a hat trick as a center back, you're going to be in team of the week, though.
Exactly. Actually, what do you guys think? We want to know what you guys think. How the best 11 of the weekend or whatever should be formed. Send us your questions through the chat. We're here to answer those questions if we can, obviously. If we cannot, we'll invent something or we'll see how we do it. But send us, please. We want to hear from you.
We'll have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, I got some questions on Twitter. A lot of them are about LAFC, and like we said, guys, we don't mind talking LAFC in this show, but we try not to be so LAFC centric. So I'm going to swing this one. I did get one that kind of looks at a little bit more than that, and it's asking LAFC versus the Union and versus Austin coming up. Those games are games on the schedule that if you're an MLS fan, you're looking at top teams. What do you guys think? Which is the bigger game? LAFC Austin, LAFC Philly.
Go ahead, Con.
I'm going to say LAFC Philly only because you usually don't get these matchups until the later end of the season when you're like, okay, top Western team versus top Eastern team. It'll be interesting to see top Western team, top Eastern team really battle it out to see, okay, at this point, is there a conference that's a lot better than the other? I don't know, from a league perspective.
No, I think he's right. I think both teams will look at this as where are we in our season, right? Like this is kind of the bar, and like you said, it's the East versus West, whereas LAFC knows they'll play Austin and then they'll go to Austin at some point.
Yeah, Jimmy Curtin said the second half of his game was boring, right? It was boring. And it was boring because they feel comfortable without the ball. When you put a team that feels comfortable without the ball against a team that likes to have the ball, the combination sometimes is not that good. So I want to see Philadelphia against LAFC because I think that will be a good test for LAFC, playing a team that sits back, that is patient, that doesn't rush things. So I think it will be a good test for Cherundolo's side, and we know Philadelphia. So I will say that that's a pretty good one. And Austin, LAFC, it will be an open game. It will be wild.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So with that scenario, I think LAFC has the advantage.
It was interesting this past week when LAFC played Orange County. Orange County pressed more than I think any team, MLS or not, has pressed LAFC in a long time. And obviously Orange County could only keep it up to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But they put LAFC under a little bit of pressure. And LAFC finally found the solution and was able to get some goals. I think Philly, with the way that they can press, is going to be very interesting. Like you said, I think they're going to find times to sit back, but there are also going to be times when almost all 11 guys are on top of LAFC. Yes. And it's going to be interesting how they deal with the types of players that Philly has, obviously, versus Orange County players, just a tier below.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it's different that when your first line of confrontation is high and they don't let you play, than when I'm a little bit behind, it's like, come on, play. Because when you cross this line, I'm going to force you to lose the ball. And I think that's what I was saying, that Philadelphia they don't panic if they don't have the ball. It's like, all right, come on and play. Build that from the back. We know what we want. So it will be interesting. Yeah.
And that's where Orange County went wrong. They had 4 or 5 guys pressing. One pass beats 5 guys.
There you go.
And
exactly.
then, what's worse than not pressing is a bad press. It's like the worst thing you could possibly do.
No doubt.
Never like bad press.
Do we have any more? Oh.
Where is it? What?
Soccer USA asked you what your favorite type of tacos were.
Type of tacos.
Yeah, this is serious questions. No hedging.
Tacos, or
just what, like,
because we
Mariano,
call tacos the cleats in Mexico. Right? No, that's true.
Really?
That's a fact.
No. You walk out of Estadio Azteca into that beautiful market of all the foods you could imagine there in Mexico City. Connor knows about it now.
Pastor.
I've only gotten to see it, and I see it in my dreams because I can almost smell it just talking about it. So Pastor is the go-to.
Yeah. You're hungry? I have a sandwich over there if you want it. No.
It's not as good as those Pastor tacos that you just brought
Tacos al pastor, that's the best. That's the best. With a little bit of pineapple, onion, cilantro. Oof. Yeah. Double tortilla, not just one but 2. Connor is laughing.
What about the trio home?
No, I'm not. Now I'm realizing I'm also hungry.
What's the go-to, Mariano? Like if you're grilling or anything, what do you?
Well, I'll go with carne asada, but it's a thin one, which is called in Mexico bistec, and then I put a little bit of cheese. Then I make these small tortillas. I put them on the grill until they're a little bit hard, and they're called volcanes, which is a volcano. You put the meat and the cheese on top. a little bit of corn here, a little bit of vegetables, onions. You know what? I'm gonna do a carne
I was gonna
asada.
say,
Vince and I are
Carne
learning so
asada,
much
and
in
I'm
our
gonna
mouths.
I was
invite
gonna say,
you
we're
guys,
just waiting for
actually.
we're just waiting for the invite. You know we will be there. All right, guys. Thank you everyone for your questions. But the fourth official has raised their sign. It's stoppage time.
Oh.
So Mariano, you're up first. You got the pressure of kicking off for
All right,
stoppage time.
Yeah, I like to take the first PK. That's okay. I feel
Yeah?
comfortable.
Yeah.
All right,
Confident.
guys.
I like the
My
confidence.
stoppage time is that we were talking about Leonardo Campaña, the Ecuadorian, starting for Miami. And I was just thinking, yes, Higuaín, amazing striker. You know, his pedigree, resume, everything speaks by itself. But I would like to suggest MLS office over there in New York to put a little rule when they're bringing international players into the league. Those days when David Beckham came to the league, when Andrea Pirlo, Steven Gerrard, Frankie Lampard, and so on and so, they're in the past. They're behind. Now we need players with talent, hungry players to be successful. But also the U22 initiative it's a great one. But Campaña and Higuaín, it's a perfect example. Higuaín is in the last part of his career and he's having fun playing in the league. Amazing player. Again, but Campaña, he has a future ahead of him and he wants to make a splash in the league. So if the GM or the front office is not aware of this situation, let's put a rule in MLS and some requirements to bring not just quality players, international players, but players that come to the league and actually help develop this league, because I think near in the future, this league will be the best, if not in the continent, in the world. I have no doubt.
I like that. Good shot.
I like it, but you don't need a rule, because if you sign players like that, you're going to lose and you should lose your job almost.
What do you mean?
No, I'm saying you're saying that
If
you sign guys that aren't that aren't hungry, you lose your job. Maybe we just need a little more accountability from MLS GMs.
But you know, Andrea Pirlo was a good move, right? New York. But did he really create an impact in the league? Will you remember Andrea Pirlo playing in the league? Of course not.
Yeah, Vince. No, you won't.
What about
You won't
Jovinko?
remember.
What about
Why are you
Jovinko?
looking at me?
Well, I'm just saying. You're the Italian bias.
What Italian bias?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just about to say, you want to talk about teams, leagues signing older players. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is in Italy. What are we talking about? That's where they go.
He did create an impact, you know.
No, he did.
And that's also another example of a player who does come in here, and because of his sheer arrogance and good confidence,
Yes.
he was able to come in here and actually try a little bit and actually try to.
You can't
prove
scout
people wrong.
solely for talent. You need to be checking in with these.
My stoppage time, we didn't really talk about the Minnesota-Chicago game, but Adrian Heath, although they won 3-0, still doesn't know what he's doing, man. 5 years. 5 years
Wow,
of Minnesota
5 long
United.
years in Minnesota.
What's next? What's next for that organization? Look, they've been okay.
A good coach.
I just look. He's that type of guy. I was talking to Vince. And we were saying how Adrian Heath kind of just says, I need guys to make plays up front. It doesn't really tell them what to do. He just kind of, that's the old way of thinking. Just because you have an English accent doesn't mean you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't 90s football. This is Major League Soccer in 2020.
True.
I don't know how long Minnesota United can sustain with a head coach like Adrian Heath. It's not going to work out in the long run.
I wonder what video sessions are like with Adrian Heath.
I don't know.
Someone just has to make a play here with the pointer.
Come on, guys. If you
See,
receive the ball, create something.
in the net. The ball has to go past the line.
Right.
What are you talking about?
But you know what? You have players like Bebelo Reynoso that way. He gets the ball, he creates
You don't tell him.
something.
You don't tell him what to do.
Of course not. I mean, but if you have some structure, you can use him in a better way, right? So yeah, I'm with Connor in this one. Stop.
Because I want to see that organization succeed. It's a great organization. They've got a good foundation, a great stadium, a great fan base. It's just got to do better competitively.
Well, when Adrian Heath played, he was a forward that scored a lot of goals, and just think of how many number 9s he's burned through. That should be already kind of a red flag. How much?
Yeah, why in the world did you bring back Amaria?
I don't know, because they had the flop of everyone else that came before, and he's just
Yeah,
like,
so
let's
bring
go
back another
Let's go
flop?
back to the well. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway.
I'm going to talk about another thing that's not working. It's definitely not working there in Chicago, and I think I've kind of pinpointed the reason. And that's why I asked the Liga MX expert about Jairo Torres, because I wasn't sure if maybe this might change things, but it sounds like it won't. So Here's the problem, Ezra Hendrickson. Xherdan Shaqiri is not a 10. He is more like an 8.5. His best days playing for Liverpool were when they could play the ball up to guys like Salah, Mane, and transition quickly. And then in the havoc that preceded, Shaqiri would show up late at the edge of the box, finish a chance. That's where Shaqiri's best. But I'm watching Chicago, and I'm seeing guys from Chicago go, Shaqiri, he's the best player on our team. Let me pass him the ball. He has no clue what to do with the ball from, let's say, 50 yards and out, because that's not his game. He doesn't build play very well. He's not very creative passer. You need to get him the ball in and around the box and on broken plays, late runners. That's where he's going to be best. If Jairo Torres is not a 10 type player, not a stretch the field type player, then I think it's going to continue to be bad for Chicago, and they really need to look for a 10 and play Shaqiri in the position that he's going to be most comfortable with, because if you're going to make him high usage and continue to be the playmaker, you're going to continue to have a lot of 0-0s.
Wow.
That was
A lot of hot takes.
That was solid.
That's I'm watching him, and I'm watching him get the ball, and he's just he doesn't have it in him to build play, those little 1-2s back and forth. He can do that in and around the box, but 40 yards and out, he's like, the goal's too far from here, guys.
Yep.
You were talking about Chicago, I was talking about Minnesota, and we texted when at halftime of Chicago, Minnesota, it was a national broadcast, and I felt embarrassed as a Major League Soccer fan that was the best they could do. It was mind-blowingly bad for a 2022 MLS fan.
Is that because of the coaches?
Maybe?
I don't want to put so much on Ezra because I still think he's got a lot to build.
Okay.
But to your point, yeah, somebody needs to get in his ear, the GM, and say, don't you think we need a 10? Don't you think we need more of a
I think
playmaker?
it's just the standard has to be higher.
I'm with you.
You can talk a lot about, I don't really want to get into the details. Oh, promotion relegation can help this and this and this and this. But this is one specific example of these teams are kind of just coasting and are okay if it's not beautiful. Okay, that's one game, we'll move on to the next one. No, you should strive for the best possible competitive success week in, week out. And that was not the case for both teams on the weekend. So once again, we have a big week here at 110 Football. Angels Wear Boots premieres Thursday at 1 p.m. and Football Without Borders follows it at 4 p.m. We'll tee up the debut season for Angel City FC and then react to all the soccer news around the world over later that afternoon. Sunday, me, Vince, Jessica, and Philly will be back at the bank to get you set for LAFC's match against Minnesota United. Don't miss those shows. It's going to be really fun. And every 110 Football show is available on an audio-only format for all you podcast lovers. Just search 110 Football on your platform of choice.
You know what's going to make better nationally televised games?
What?
It's more shows like this that are saying, hey, you guys got to play better. Maybe there's just a little bit more influence, a little bit more
Media
attention on those games.
And you need to sign better coaches.
Yes.
And just with a name. Better coaches, please.
Also,
Please.
better referees.
Better referees.
Oh my
Please.
God.
You, Chris Penso.
Don't get me started with that. Don't get me.
Thank you guys for
Bye,
watching.
guys.
Guys.
See you soon. Thursday.